Welcome back. I'm Adam Balkin, and you're watching It Ain't Rocket Science. We're often talking about science as sport with national and international STEM competitions, but what about sports as science? We're going to take a look at science, technology, engineering, and math in relation to sports, all part of Time Warner Cable's new STEM in Sports campaign to get you educated and involved in new and interesting types of science. Science has a place in many of the things we find ourselves doing during the course of the day. Its place in sports may not be quite so evident, but in golf, it's often par for the course. In North Carolina, members of 2 Charlotte area boys and girls clubs learned about the dynamics of the game from one of golf's best players. Our Elise Isaski has the story.
World golf champion Ian Poulter is playing his usual game, but this time in the name of math and science.
Now you see a cross?
Students from 2 Charlotte area boys and girls clubs were invited to a golf clinic hosted by Time Warner Cable's Connect a Million Minds initiative. In a private workshop with the golf pro, students learned there's much more to playing golf than just hitting the ball.
It takes a lot of mathematics just to go into hitting the ball and how to angle it and everything.
This is basically our math book.
Poulter showed the kids everything from his calculations on the green to the science behind the clubs themselves.
You have to have obviously the right equipment. Every club has a different loft, so every loft goes a different distance, and they go a different height, and it puts a different spin ratio on the ball as well.
Some students say they will walk away with a whole new set of skills.
You have to aim it, you have to do math calculations, you can use like a laser.
And a new respect for the game of golf.
How much math you have to do just to calculate, just to hit a ball.
I say it's really pretty fun for me.
Poulter says the golf clinic was a huge success and an event he won't forget.
To help out the Boys and Girls Club, to bring them here, to give them a level of understanding, and for me to be able to do this, it's fantastic.
For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Elise Isaski.
Golf isn't the only sport where a working knowledge of science can improve your score. In the NBA, the arc of the shot and the rotation of the ball are equally important for success. At the recently concluded World Science Festival in New York City, basketball all-star Kareem Abdul-Jabbar returned home to talk about the science of his signature skyhook with all-star physicist Brian Greene.
They call it the skyhook. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's secret weapon in scoring, which helped him to become the NBA's highest scorer with over 38,000 points in his career. With all his scoring behind him, Kareem came out at the World Science Festival to discuss how science plays a role in sport with organizer and physicist Brian Greene.
When you're shooting off the backboard, the angle is the most important thing.
All right, let's see that.
So you want to...
What about the speed of the ball coming in? Do you try to finesse that so it's a kind of a softer shot?
Well, actually, what you want to do is have it an arching shot with backspin, so that if you practice with backspin all the time, you know exactly where the ball is going to fall.
So you have consistency of it. That's
consistency of it.
Right.
And the backspin causes the ball to go exactly where you want it to go.
Look at that.
It may not look it, but that's actually physics in action. After showing off how it's done, Kareem and Brian invited some of the younger spectators to give it a shot and lend some a helping hand. Brian says it's important to change the perception of science for young people.
I think kids associate science with one thing, their science class. And that's kind of tragic because science is everywhere around us. In baseball, it's in basketball. And when kids can realize that science has such a pervasive effect on everything that they do, it is more interesting to them.
Kareem and team spent their day at the World Science Festival trying to do just that and hopefully inspire some young athletes to take a closer look at the sports they love. For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm John Weinstein.
Some of the brightest young minds in the world all in one place, and all with their unique ideas on how to make this a better world. We'll take you to Phoenix and the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair, and back to New York for the latest of the World Science Festival, where knowledge and imagination combine to make the experience one to remember. To find more science, technology, engineering, and math opportunities in your community, visit the Connectory at connectamillionminds.com during the break.